What's up, guys? Rerun here. Today we are gonna have a heavyweight match between Studio Series Grimlock and Masterpiece MP08 Grimlock. Studio Series is gonna have his work cut out for him because Masterpiece Grimlock is arguably the best mold of Grimlock ever made. The Masterpiece lines are generally more detailed, bigger, and has a lot more features. They are geared towards collectors. And because of that, it carries a higher price tag. Masterpiece Grimlock came out in 2009. I think initially for about $100. That was quite a bit back then for a toy. And the Studio Series Grimlock is a reissue that just barely came out. Priced at $60. Alright, let's just get the similarities out of the way. They're both freaking awesome. They are the kings. They transform pretty similarly. As far as articulation goes, you can pose these guys any which way you want, but the edge goes to Studio Series here. I'll explain later. At the end of this video, you guys decide which one is better and a better value. Let's go! Alright, let's put him in the lineup. You can see here the Masterpiece is much taller than Studio Series. He stands about 1.5 inches taller, which makes him about 10 inches tall, compared to Studio Series 8.5. But you know, it's not about the length, it's about girth, thickness. And Studio Series is girthier. Studio Series is definitely a really good scale to Optimus Prime, seen here side by side with him. Whereas MP08 Masterpiece is a little short compared to MP10 Optimus Prime. Let's do a face-off. From the side, they actually look proportionally the same. But check out Masterpiece shoulders. They are massive. It's like a 40K Space Marine pauldrons. You can't even see his face. Attack him from the side and he'll never see you coming. And from the rear, they look similar, except Masterpiece has got a lot going on with the back of his leg. Studio Series looks a lot cleaner here. Okay, let's take a closer look at some key areas. They're both really handsome. Studio Series looks a little closer to the animated series, and Masterpiece looks more robotic. Masterpiece does have a nice feature here where you can change the color of his visor with a switch on the back of his head. This is the midsection and his no-no area. Check out Masterpiece gold plating and the clear canopy over his chest, whereas Studio Series has a more mustardy yellow look and smoke-tinted glass over his logo. Masterpiece's junk area has a little more detail and contrast. His junk area is actually die-cast with a glossy finish, and Studio Series is just your run-of-the-mill plastic. The legs have similar designs, but MP08 has these clear translucent red and green lenses, as opposed to Studio Series painted ones. Alright, let's take a look at the 3/4 side view of his upper torso arm area. Fairly similar here, but notice MP08's, I guess, toes or claws. These are brass or some sort of die-cast metal, as opposed to Studio Series' plastic ones. The inner forearm or Masterpiece has a door that hides the compartment where his fist goes in. And in the Studio Series, there's just a giant hole there. What you see here is an add-on that you have to buy separately and install. Also, Masterpiece Grimlock has a better articulation on his fist. His thumb is on a ball joint, and that index finger is on a pivot, along with the 3 welded fingers. But his other fist doesn't articulate, which is a weird thing to just do one side and not the other. Okay, back to the shoulders. MP08's shoulders does not articulate to 90 degrees. This is as far as it goes. Okay, let's go to Dino mode. Good sound effect, huh? Again, Masterpiece looks more slender than his girthier counterpart. And from the side, same story, different day. But check out the red stripe. Studio Series is just painted with a little bit of detail. MP08 has a little more love. And this is them from the back. Studio Series tail is a lot thicker here. And MP08's tail actually wags a little bit. You know, when he's excited to see you. Okay, let's look at the business end of the Dino mode. His face. Look at the chrome and all that detail on the inside of MP08's mouth. His grill is all blinged out. Studio Series definitely lacks in this department. I mean, he didn't even come with any front teeth. I had to add that on. I couldn't show him here without his front teeth because it's kind of embarrassing. And Grimlock doesn't deserve that. Grimlock King. MP08 also has the ability to change eye colors. He goes from blue to red when he's raging out. You can flip up the top of his skull and just twist this little doohickey to change colors. And if you look closely, he doesn't have any brains. Huh. Oh, and don't ignore that clear neck on MP08. It's a nice little detail. Okay, let's move on to a small but important detail of his T-Rex arms. MP08's is chromed out and articulates. He can give the finger to any Decepticon he wants. Studio Series can't do the same. Ignore that picture, I added that on. He normally comes with welded fingers that doesn't articulate at all. Okay, let's move on to the weapons. Very similar in design and look, MP08 has these clear barrels on the end. That's because he's got a light on his right arm that illuminates this. Check it out. And their swords, a little more attention to detail on the MP08 one. I love that clear and that anodized look red. It also lights up. That's about it for the side-by-side. I have to show you this MP08 feature though. That's kinda cool. Here they are standing with all their buddies. Well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments which one is better or has more value. The Masterpiece series lines are really hard to beat. I mean, this was kind of an unfair fight for Studio Series. But if you ask me which one I pick up and play with the most, I think you know the answer to that. Because you can see in the pictures who has more dust. Hey, hit that subscribe button, like and comment. Also, consider sharing with your Transformers buddies. Bye!